execution of the heart-centered rolling, this concept of leaving the leg behind us, curling then deeper in the sternum to drop the heel to the floor as we return. I'll show you what I mean. So the monkey wants to go from point A to point B. We want to roll across the floor. The hoop swings. That's our heart-centered, our sternum-centered movement. We're leaving the leg behind us. We don't need it. In order for me to keep leaving that leg behind me without lifting it up prematurely, I have to curl deeper in my sternum, which requires me to mash deeper into this armpit line, this line of the shoulder girdle, the girdle to release the sternum. So I curl deeper in the sternum in order to leave the leg behind me. As I continue, and the leg finally comes up and over. As I'm coming from front body to back body, when I reverse, the cue I've been using is to tuck the tail, curl the sternum, so that axial cat-cow. I then push down on the ball of the foot to float the leg, in order to drop this leg back to the ground as soon as possible, which mimics the way that we got here in the first place. In order to drop that heel to the ground, I have to again curl my sternum, which requires that armpit mash. I curl deeply in the sternum to give myself space to drop this leg, to drop that heel to the ground, to then come back. So I curl my sternum, the hoop swings over, I leave the leg behind me by curling the sternum deeper. And as I come from front body to back body, I tuck the tail, curl the sternum as I float the heel. I curl deeper in the sternum, mashing the shoulder girdle deeper to drop the heel as soon as possible. And that allows me a really fluid and kind of like, almost like I'm wringing the towel out to maximum. It allows me to really challenge those helices of tissue per the spiral line in Tom Myers. It really allows me to roll my thorax away as much as possible to wake up this psoas, to put it to its sort of longest working length, to finally float it up and over, and then in order to come from front body to back body, curling deeply in that sternum to drop my heel, to find that fullest psoas length again, as my heel then lowers me to back body. I find this visual of feeling it as though I'm fully wringing out that towel. It helps me to get as much as I can out of this experience of really what ultimately is centripetal conditioning of my core after I've served to mash out those lines, using it again as that massage therapy, chiropractic, and that's sort of my PT, my rehabilitation. It allows me to access even deeper that exertion pattern of these helical firings in the tissue.